Good morning to all of you. Welcome to National Service Scheme NSS IIT Kharagpur. Today we are conducting some kind of a orientation program just to know the what is NSS and what are the modalities we have and how the evaluation process and what kind of activities we used to do earlier and what activities we are planning for this current semester, because we are going online activities. So, we will discuss in detail in course of time. So, I am B.M. Manoj from the Department of Physics. I am program coordinator, and along with me we have 15 more colleagues are there, 16 more colleagues who are working in each village and they are taking care of each unit. So, what is NSS? Basically, NSS is a national service scheme. It is under the Government of India, Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports, which is introduced on September 24th of 1969, and basically it is introduced to allow or to give an opportunity to the student youth to take part in various community activities or social service activities. And also the main aim of this NSS is to provide some kind of a hands-on experience to the young students to deliver some kind of a community service. And you can see that the symbol is for National Service Scheme, which is used throughout the nation. So, this is the basic symbol for NSS and it has some kind of a significance. Like if you see that this symbol will be made on some kind of a badge, and this badge will be used during when you are doing some kind of a field activity, you will be wearing this badge. And if you see that we have different symbols in that. So, you can see some kind of a monarch wheel, and that represents that you should be available for 24 hours for the service of the nation. And we have also seen that there is a red color which represents the energy and spirit displayed by the NSS volunteers during their service activities, and the blue color signifies the cosmos of which the NSS is a tiny part, and we can ready to contribute or share our part for the welfare of the mankind. And what are the main benefits? You can also ask what I will get, right. So, the main benefits of NSS volunteer is that after completion of this NSS activity, you can become an accomplished social leader, or you can also become an efficient administrator, and also it will also develop some kind of a human nature. You can also try to understand fellow humans, you can try to value the fellow humans point of views and all those things. So, you will basically you will learn all these things during the NSS activities. And why we are introducing NSS at IIT Kharagpur? Basically, we are trying to communicate with the villages which are nearby around nearby IIT Kharagpur, and also we try to provide some kind of a basic education to the school children, because it is also gives an extra dimension for the higher education institution to orient the youth to community services. And also it is not that only the students will be always 24 hours studying at their places. So, they have also to know and understand the community around them, and they have to know the problems which the surrounding community is facing. And also you can use your previous knowledge or the knowledge which you gain here to solve the or to resolve the problems where the community is facing. And also it will also help like if one of you or many of you may become some kind of a policy makers in future, and also at that point of time you will also realize that what are all the problems and issues which are there in the community to address. And the basic motto of NSS is not me but you. So, basically it gives some kind of a democratic feeling, and also it will also says that it is a selfless service, and also you should be able to appreciate other person's point of view and also show consideration for fellow human beings. And because why we have to do that? Because we know that individual welfare always depends on the welfare of the society and also what is the basic thing of NSS is that the motto which we are learning here, it will be helpful or we should be able to implement it in our day to day life or day to day program of the NSS. And some of the aims of NSS activities are like we can make the students, the school students to learn some kind of a basic education, like we will be giving some kind of a basic education to the students, we will be helping them to understand better, and also it will also help us to identify some of the potential candidates or youth which are there in the villages, to identify them, and then we have also to involve them in our community activities or social activities. That will also develop some kind of a leadership qualities for the volunteers. And the students, some of the students we already know that they plan and execute some kind of a developing projects for the community. And also because we know that in any area, like whether it can be a rural area or urban area, urban slums for suppose, then we have some kind of economically and socially weak sections are there, and whatever we develop, the projects should be available or should be beneficial to those economically or socially weak sections. That is the another aim of NSS activities. And some of the objects is that you have to understand the community where you are in, and also you have to know the problems the community has, and also you should be ready to involve in problem solving in the what are the problems where the community is facing, and you should also develop some kind of a sense of social and civic responsibility. As I mentioned earlier, you can use whatever the knowledge you have gained till now to solve some of the real problems, community problems in the society. And if we go, so there are many other objects, like you can get some kind of a good skills to mobilize the community participation. That means you are involving some of the people around in the community and to make some of the social activities, and also you can acquire leadership qualities and democratic attitudes, and also you should be ready to meet some kind of emergencies or natural disasters. I will also show some of the pictures where our volunteers, they went to a longer places from the IIT Kharagpur, and they tried to help the people who got affected by some kind of a floods. And also we should also practice some national integration and social harmony. These are the some basic objectives we have. Not only this, we have many more. Once you are introduced to the program officers, then you will come to know more in detail. And now I will be coming to the organization of this EAA course. And first of all, you should know that this NSS activity, those who are taking this activity will be there for the 2 years. That means, the first year and second year you will be doing these NSS activities, and you might be seeing in your ERP like extra academic activity 1, and 003, that means you have a 3 hours of EAA activity per week, and it carries 2 credits. So, you should make a note of it. So, it is not a 0 credit. So, it has some kind of a credit. So, you have to take it into consideration. And from if you see this organization, we are organizing this EAA in 16 units, and each unit is taken care by a program officer, and it will be coordinated by coordinator and co-coordinator. And normally a unit contains basically first year and second year students, including both first year and second year students. We have around 70 to 80 students, and it is headed by a program officer, and the responsibilities or the activities of a program officer, that basically he motivates and guides you what kind of activities you can perform in the villages, and also he will help you to develop some kind of a projects which will be helpful for the community. And also he will evaluate, he or she will be evaluating the NSS volunteers based on their performance and based on their activities. So, he or she will be evaluated, the NSS volunteer will be evaluated by the program officer. And as a volunteer, you have to work 3 hours per week, and you will be having some kind of a unit leader, and you will be working under his guidance or supervision, and you should be able to ready to do some kind of activity in a group wise, like it should be like a group activity. You should be comfortable to make yourself comfortable to work in a group. And also it is important thing that, of course, this is online. So, right now, so it is not, but if once you come to the campus and once you are going to the villages, once you are interacting with the community, you should be see that you should see that you should not enter into any controversial issues. And also the major thing is that you should record your activities or experiences, whatever you are experiencing in the NSS time, and then you have to make some kind of a note of it in a NSS diary, and it will be checked by the program officer. So, you should maintain some kind of a record, what are all the activities you are doing and what are all the outcomes of those activities. And also when you are working on the field, you should wear NSS badge. So, which which distincts from the others. So, when other people see you, that means they recognize you that you are a volunteer of NSS. And as a unit, so I have mentioned earlier like as an individual, but as an unit you should be trying to adopt some kind of a activities or some kind of a development projects in such a way that it will be helpful for the village or the slum where the institute is operating. And also you should be, sometimes you should also contact some kind of a community leaders or representatives to address some kind of a issues, or to know the, or to identify the problems what community is facing and how we can help them, in what way we can help them, like all these things can be discussed with some kind of a community leaders. And also we can also include some community members to help to develop some of the projects in their villages or slums. And also you can also try to see at the end of that project, you can also as a unit, you can also check how much progress you have made as a unit and what are all the things you need to do to have a better better execution of the project. All these things you can think as a unit level. And there are some kind of a group activities. As I mentioned, you will be working as a unit in one particular village, and but there are some activities where all the NSS volunteers, like all the 640 volunteers, they will be having some kind of a group activities. So, one of them is annual camp, which is a compulsory in the first semester. Actually, this annual camp supposed to be there, but because of this pandemic situation, it will be announced when it will be conducted. So, so that is one compulsory annual camp, which all the first year students they should attend in their first semester. And the second one is we will be conducting some kind of annual blood donation camp in the month of March for the whole NSS group. And also we also organize some kind of annual day function, where we give some kind of, we distribute some kind of certificates, best volunteer certificates, and some kind of a validatory functions we organize at the end of each year. I will explain what kind of certificates and those things, what are all the awards are there. So, those things I will explain in a moment. And so, what are the current activities? Because we know that everybody is working from home or studying from home, and you are also having online classes. So, how we do this kind of a social activities online? So, we had many discussions, and then our program officers and we have discussed many things and many meetings. So, then we try to collaborate with some kind of NGO, so which is name is Pratham. So, we are collaborating with Pratham, and we are trying to transcript and translate some of the videos which are very much useful for the school children, school students, and these videos will be distributed, these videos will be put up in their website, which are available at a free of cost to all the school children. So, we are involved in the last semester, we were involved in these activities, and we were successful in doing those translations. So, we will be continuing with the help of with the collaboration with the NGO Pratham, and then we will be doing those activities in the next semester also. And also the other thing is, now there are many schemes which are government schemes for socially and economically backward sections, so or weaker sections. So, we have to identify those schemes, either it can be a state government schemes or central government schemes, and then we try to make some kind of a the summary, which we can communicate these things to when we get a chance, we will try to go to the villages, and we try to explain to the villagers, like you have these kind of schemes, and for this kind of a particular issue. So, it is so first of all we have to identify what are all the different government schemes. So, this we will also be doing in this semester, and we will also be conducting some kind of a online webinars and online seminars for awareness programs and for different social issues as a background, and then we will be informing you in advance, like when it will be there and those things. So, you can join those webinars and you can participate. And also it is not restricted to only online, like as an individual, like as an individual volunteer, you can also participate in some social activities at your home itself. Because see, in everyday life we also observe some of the things which can be solved just by a phone call, or just by talking to a person, or just by making ourselves available to do that particular work, which can be helpful for the locality. That means either in your colony or a group of houses, maybe it is helpful for them. So, we can also identify such kind of activities, and then you can do that. So, this is a very simple thing, like if you find some kind of a dust at your place in your colony, you can just call to the municipality office, and then you can request them to take it. So, this is a small contribution, right. So, this is as an individual you can take care of these kind of a thing. So, this also make you to be responsible for the society, right. So, these kind of a small activities, and once you do it, you can also try to take a picture and you can post it to your program officer or something, and we have a website. We will also be updating all the information on the website. So, once you do it, so we will post those pictures on our website. So, and also the small things like teaching neighboring kids, like okay. So, because of the pandemic you have to take care of all the things. By taking all the measures, you may also try to help the kids who are having, because nowadays there is a huge problem for schools also. So, you can help them in studies also by taking all the measures, safety measures. So, these are the current activities which we are planning. In details will be discussed with you by the each program officer. You will be, they will be in contact with you, and they will discuss in more details how you can go about all these activities. And as I mentioned, so NSS Diary is also a component, because which records your day to day activities of the NSS, and then you can try to make a record of it. Not only now, once you record it, like later time when you see that this is like some kind of a memory, right. You will also remember that okay, you have done these kind of activities during your studies. So, this will be like a lifetime experience, and also it is also important that you will also be evaluated by the diary also. So, you have to be very careful when you are writing what kind of activity you have done on which date and in what place you have done it, like all these things you have to write in your diary, and then this diary will be evaluated or checked by the corresponding program officer. And so, this is the evaluation process which I am telling in general, because in offline when the students are in campus, we used to follow these kind of evaluation guidelines, like what are the marks distribution. So, we used to give attendance for 30% and quality of work is 40% and NSS diary is 20%, and we used to have a test based on the activities which are conducted in different villages. We used to conduct some kind of a small test for 10 marks, just to make the students to know what are all the different activities done by other units also. It is not only that you should concentrate on your unit, you should also be discussing with the fellow units, and then you should come up with some kind of a problem. For suppose one unit is facing one problem and you have the solution for suppose, then you can discuss with them and then you can try to help them in that. That is why like you have to discuss all the activities with your fellow units, and at the end of the semester you will have one test based on the activities done in all the units. And also the attendance is a major issue, means major component. You have to have 75% attendance if you want to get a P grade. That is the minimum requirement to have a P grade. For suppose even if you had done very good social work, but if your attendance is less than 60% or something, then it is highly possible that you may not get a P grade, right. So, you have to take all these kind of things, you have to note it and then you have to follow this. And we also follow the letter grades, because we know that now the academic activities have 2 credits. So, we will follow the general whatever the other theory classes they have the modalities, we have also the same thing. We will also follow the grading system, and then we will try to evaluate accordingly. And also you remember, you have also to remember that these things may also affect other components of your academic activity. So, you should not miss these extra academic activities. And as I mentioned earlier, so a certificate will be given to recognize some of the best works done by some kind of a volunteers. Normally, as I have discussed, so we have 16 units, and each unit there will be some kind of a 2 or 3 volunteers who has depends on the the quality of work the students have done during their extra academic activities. We will try to recognize them using by giving some kind of a certificate as a best volunteer. So, if you can work at your best, and then if you can show the results, like if you can show the output that okay, you have worked very well and this is the outcome of your work, then based on that contribution we will be giving some kind of a best volunteer certificate and in the annual day function. And also not only this, so there is a one institute level award is also there for the best volunteer of all the units. So, there will be we will be discussing all the units progress, and then we will also discuss how the students have worked, and the person who has contributed more in or in developing some kind of a projects or in helping the society to become better. So, then we will identify that particular volunteer, and then we recommend to the institute for the institute level award. And also it will be like other media will also interviews or coverage will also be done from the volunteers of NSS, but it should be done within the like you cannot do interview individually to any media or something, but it should be in consultation with the authorities and within the scope of the the authorities. So, we have to give this kind of interviews or coverage, and these are the things which is regarding this certificate or recognition. And even if we have some kind of work which is which can be recognized according to the national level, so we can also recommend that particular student for a national award. So, there are also national awards for the NSS, best program officer, best volunteer. So, they normally take around 10 number of best volunteers, 10 number of best program officers every year, and they give those awards to them on national annual day. So, this national NSS annual day. So, this NSS annual day is on September 24th in each year, which was introduced initially. So, these are the broad approaches we follow in NSS. So, we try to adopt the schools and institutions which are there in the villages around our institute, and we try to help them in studies, and also we try to help them reading, writing letters or forms. If the adults, some people are literate, some people are illiterate. So, we try to help them in reading, writing letters or forms, and also applying for some kind of a the certificates or those kind of things we also help. And also we will also try to convey messages through some campaigns or rallies, the benefits of small family, health education, and how to save, which will help you for your financial things. So, those things also we try to do through campaigns and rallies. And also we try to improve the physical environment in the community by planting some of the trees, and also we try to repair some of the ponds, and we try to make them little bit more cleaner. So, these kind of things we also undertake to improve the physical environment in the community. And also we try to educate or give some kind of a awareness programs for the community people also. And we also arrange for some kind of informal education, as we have discussed. When we adopt schools, we try to give some kind of informal education, like on an individual, if you are interested, you can go to a particular village and you can help a student by your own. So, that is what we mean by informal education. So, you can also do that if the student is also interested to learn from you. Yeah. And according to the resources, we think that because we are doing service. So, we think that we can also spend a lot of money in that and we can build that this. So, unfortunately, we have very limited financial resources. So, for that we need to coordinate some activities with either we have to club with some government schemes, or we have to talk to some NGOs to get some kind of a work done. So, that is the thing which we need to do. And also we will also try to write some kind of a project, so that this one. Okay, it's okay. Now there was a little bit obstruction. Now welcome back. So, basically we try to approach villages, or we have some kind of a broad approach how we. So, we take all sorts of teaching at the basic school level, and also we try to help the adults. For suppose if they are they have some problem in reading and writing letters or forms, we also try to help them to apply for some kind of a bank books or some certificates if they want. So, we also try to help them, and also we try to campaign through rallies, or individually talking to them the benefits of small family health education, and also on some kind of a savings which can help them for their financial needs. And also we try to improve the physical environment in the community by plantation, or by improving the quality of the water in the ponds by cleaning it. We also try to increase the level of the purity of the water by using different techniques with the consultation from our experts. And also we try to arrange some kind of informal education, and as I mentioned, like we will be working in small schools. In addition to that, you can also take care of some of the school children which are at 9th, 10th or +2 level, and you can also take individual care for them, and then you can try to teach them the maths or science which they require. So, these are the broad approaches we try to do. Not only this, so we have many. So, just for example, I just put all these points. You can get more information from your program officer also. And as per the resources, unfortunately, we do not have we have very limited financial resources. So, in order to meet our needs, so we have to coordinate some kind of activities with government agencies and NGOs to maximize the outcome. And also we can also talk to the local community leaders to know what are all the government schemes are there to support some particular activity. And also we can also collaborate with or talk to some kind of government agencies like forestry or agriculture or education, so health, child and family welfare. So, these things we can also try to talk to the government agencies locally, and then we try to use their resources to help the people in need. So, these are the some of the factors, like as I mentioned. So, there are very limited resources. Within the limited resources we have to work, and we are also writing some kind of a projects to the government for a particular to deal with some kind of a particular problem in the village, and we try to help through that project also. And till now we just discussed about how the modalities of our NSS and how we go about the NSS activities in this semester. Now, I just would like to show you some of the previous activities which our NSS volunteers have done in different villages in the surrounding area. So, we have some regular activities and we have also some special activities. So, regular activities, like normally we conduct surveys in different villages and we gather the data, and which is needed by the higher authorities in the village to provide, to get some kind of information and to provide them some of the basic needs. So, we also do some kind of a surveys, and we also distribute tarpaulins or whatever the basic needs. So, this in this village we have distributed tarpaulins. Just we identified some of the villagers who has very financially very background, and their houses are also very prone to these floods and those things. So, we try to give some kind of a small help from our NSS sites. And this is some special activity. So, there was a heavy rain and flood in one of the villages. It is little bit far from our place, which is called Sagardweep. So, basically our volunteers, some of our volunteers went there along with some program officers that time, and then they took all the relief material from the campus. So, we have collected all the relief material from the campus community, and then we took it to that Sagardweep, and then we have distributed there. So, these are the some special activities we also conduct, and these are the rallies and campaigns. As I mentioned, we are also working under Government of India, Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports. So, we also try to campaign some of the government schemes and those things, and also we also try to make, depending on the the need of the community. So, we also try to campaign some social issues, related awareness on some social issues, also we try to give some campaigns. And we also conduct some workshops like water harvesting and waste management, and all these activities we also conduct some workshops to make, means we will try to give you some of the basic ideas which you can use them according to the resources which are present in the villages, and then you can try to develop some kind of a project, so that the people of the villages will get benefited. And also you can see that our volunteers will try to do all these cleaning jobs in the respective villages or schools, because basically to inculcate some kind of a dignity of labor. So, that is one thing, and then you can see that we are also teaching in Anganwadi schools and regular schools, and these are also from school teaching activity. Not only some basic maths and science, we can also teach some kind of a arts, like here for suppose some of our volunteers, they were expert in origami. So, they also used to teach them the origami art, and also we also distribute some of the books. Actually, these books are not that we bought from a shop and then we have distributed. So, these are the books which are collected from the volunteers, where at the end of the semester or year they will have some notebooks where some empty pages are there. So, we used to try to collect them, and then we used to make them as books, and then we used to distribute in the schools, because that matters a lot for many of the school children. So, we also distribute books at schools, and these are the some other activities which we also do. Like, for suppose if you see here, so in the top 3 figures we are trying to our NSS volunteers, they try to clean the subdivisional state hospital. You can see that the place is very not very clean. So, our volunteers try to work. If you see here, so there is a person holding this broomstick. So, he was coordinator that time of NSS. So, he was actively participating in the activity also. So, everybody, those who are in NSS activity, so they are all responsible for all these activities which we conduct under extra academic under NSS. And also some of our volunteers, they try to paint their primary school, and the money, interestingly, they try to collect some money from the volunteers themselves, and then they bought all these colors and then they painted the schools. This can also be done. You can form a group, and then you try to contribute some amount which you can, like some pocket money, some percentage of pocket money, and then you collect it, and then you can buy some of the things, and then you can try to donate, or you can try to help the community also where you are working. And this was a project, under this project, like from the NSS total team. So, NSS has donated one solar cooker to a school for midday meals. So, this was installed in one of the villages where we work. And not only that, we also try to care about the health issues of our people who are in the villages where we work, and then we regularly conduct some kind of a medical camps and even eye camps, and also on the next day or in the same week we also try to provide them some of the medicines which we take from our hospital, and which is under a supervision of doctors, and it will be distributed to the needy people. And not only outside, so just to inculcate some kind of a the awareness inside the campus, our volunteers also works within the campus, and we try to do some of the activities. These are some of the activities which I am showing, like plantation inside the campus. So, that time Professor G.P. Rajshekhar, who is a Dean PNC, he came and then he also participated in this activity. So, this is done in one of the halls where the students are residing. And as I mentioned, so we have a group activity. This is annual blood donation camp is also one of the group activities we conduct, and all our volunteers, those who are interested or those who are eligible, so they will be participating in this annual blood donation camp. Even you can see our program officers are also participating in blood donation camp. So, this is every year we conduct this blood donation camp around March end or something. Yeah. And as I mentioned, so another activity which we do, group activity, right, annual camp at the end of the first semester, and it will be there for actually it should be there for 14 days, but we will be working from morning to evening. So, we are completing that in 7 days, morning 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. and all the first year NSS volunteers should participate in this. If they do not participate in this, they will not be promoted to the next semester in the EAA. So, this is a compulsory, even if they have attended regular activities in the village, but if they do not participate in annual camp, then he will not be promoted to the next semester. So, you have to take it as a compulsory activity in first year. And in the annual camp, what happens, we try to adopt 1 or 2 villages and we work only those places, all the units will work only those 2 places, and we identify some of the problems on the first day, and then we try to work collectively to achieve that particular problem. And the social activities like road making, pits for plants, drainage system making, and even we have also dug pits for the toilets, because there was a scheme. So, under that scheme we also helped the agencies, government agencies to dig the pits for the toilets also. And during the camp we also conduct medical camps and awareness rallies, and we also give first aid training and snake bite training, snake bite awareness, and we also play some kind of a sports and games with the villagers. And another interesting thing is that our unit volunteers, they play some kind of a nukkad on some social issues, current social issues, and they give some kind of a solutions, and we also try to evaluate them, and then we give some kind of a best 3 volunteers in the nukkad also who has performed well. So, there is a competitions in the annual camp also. These are the some of the photographs which you can see that there is a rally, awareness rally, and our students are working to construct some drainage system, and here they are digging the pits for the plantation, some vegetable plants, and this is what the students are playing nukkad during the camp. So, in the morning we will have some social activities like road making and those things. In the afternoon we will have this kind of a nukkad, and medical camps and rallies will be conducted in the afternoon. And also in the annual camp we also donate clothes to the needy, and we also conduct this awareness on. So, this is one of the programs which we conducted. This is on awareness on snake bites, and also there is a hands on experience from a first aid team on the CPR. So, basically you see that our volunteers are having hands on experience during this annual camp. So, which will be helpful in daily needs. And during this annual camp, so our higher authorities also they visit, and then they also discuss with the the volunteers, and then they also see our progress, how we are doing, and they also try to have a lunch or breakfast with our volunteers. So, this is so we also give, not only that, not only we perform these social activities, we also give some kind of a medals and or awards for the best volunteers who have contributed more. So, it is like a competition, like it is like a competition between different units who will perform well in the social activities. So, depending on the evaluation at the end of the camp, we will provide some different medals and awards. So, this is a basic overview, and I may not have covered the minute details, but do not worry about it, but those details will be discussed by the program officer with you, and either today after this talk. And I have to introduce some of our team. So, I have another just a small presentation just to give you some of the introduction to the program officers who have who are part and parcel of our program. So, now you have to know your program officer, and I request all of you kindly note their contact details, whatever is there on the slides, so that if you have some doubts or something, you can contact them. And these are the rough map of the villages where we work. You can see that we are here, IT campus is here, and we are working, all 16 units are working around almost like a 10 to 12 kilometers around this IIT. So, our villages are situated 10 to 12 kilometers, even one village is at 14 kilometers from our campus. So, normally the volunteers will go by bicycle and then they try to help there. And unit 1 program officer is Professor Vanture Mahendra Reddy from mechanical engineering. So, I request all the unit 1 volunteers kindly note down the details of the program officer, and he will be helping in all to helping the students to plan, execute and fulfill the program objectives. So, kindly note down the mail ID or office phone number. And unit 2 Dr. Rajiv Kumar Rawat, he is from Rajbhasha Vibhag, and all the unit 2 volunteers are requested to note down the contact details of Dr. R.K. Rawat. And unit 3 is taken care by Professor Sukanta Mandal from Department of Chemistry, and I request all the unit 3 volunteers kindly note down the contact details of Professor Sukanta Mandal. And all these program officers will be contacting with you. I think they might have already contacted with you, or if they have not, they will be contacting with you in short. And unit 4 Professor Rudra Pradhan from Vinod Gupta School of Management, and so please note down the contact details of Professor Rudra Pradhan. And unit 5 Professor Sujay Bhattacharya, he is also from Vinod Gupta School of Management, and sorry, I think there was a mistake in the email ID. I will inform you soon. Yeah, I will inform you soon about the mail ID. And unit 6 Professor J. N. Roy, so he is from ATDC. So, you can those who are in unit 6, you can note down the contact details of Professor J. N. Roy. And unit 7 Professor Yandrasekhar Yadav from Humanities and Social Sciences. So, you can unit 7 volunteers kindly note down the contact details of Professor I. S. Yadav. Unit 8 is taken care by Professor Nishant Chakravarti from SMST, and unit 8 volunteers kindly note down the contact details of Professor Nishant. And unit 9 Professor P. P. Srivatsava from Agriculture and Food Engineering. So, all the unit 9 volunteers are requested to note down the contact details of Professor P. P. Srivatsava. And unit 10 is taken care by Professor Sriraj Puravankara from School of Energy Science and Engineering. So, I request all the unit 10 leaders to note down the contact details of Professor Sriraj. So, unit 11 is taken care by Professor H. Prashant Reddy from Civil Engineering. I request all the unit 11 volunteers to note down the contact details of Professor Prashant Reddy. And unit 12 is taken care by Mr. J. Srinivas Rao from Civil Construction and Management, and all unit 12 volunteers are requested to note down the contact details of Mr. J. Srinivas Rao. So, unit 13 is taken care by Professor Ashish Ganguly from Mathematics department. All unit 13 volunteers are requested to note down the details of Professor A. Ganguly. And unit 14 is taken care by Professor Manoj Kumar Tiwari from School of Water Resources, and I request all the unit 14 volunteers to note down the details of Professor M. K. Tiwari. So, you will get more details from each program officer, in what village, which village they are working, and then what are all the activities they were doing. All these activities you will get from the program officers. And unit 15 is taken care by Professor Sudeshna Kole from Computer Science and Engineering department. Those who are in unit 15 are requested to note down the contact details of Professor Sudeshna. And unit 16 is taken care by Professor Mantu Kumar Mahalik from Humanities and Social Science department, and all the unit 16 volunteers are requested to note down Professor Mantu Kumar Mahalik's contact details. And we have program co-coordinator, NSS co-coordinator, Professor Amit Shah from Civil Engineering department. And if you have any issues with your the activities of NSS as a whole, you can try to contact one of us, like co-coordinator or co-coordinator. And so, you can also note down, all the units are requested to kindly note down the contact details of Professor Amit Shah. So, I am Maruti Manoj. So, you can also note down my contact details, and if you have any issues with the NSS, you can reach me on email or phone. So, and not only this, we are very thankful to some of our previous program coordinators and co-coordinators who worked in NSS, and then they gave a path to us, or they showed a path to us how to work in villages, and they guided us, and still we are getting constant support from all these resource persons, like Professor Devashish Roy from Civil Engineering department, and Professor Argyadev from Civil Engineering department, and Professor Gautam Saha from ECE department. So, we all as a NSS team, we all always thankful to all these professors for their constant help, guidance, and encouragement what they give in our NSS activities. And I would like to thank you all. Before thanking you all, I would like to thank all the deans, Dean Faculty of Science Professor Rajshekhar, Dean Faculty of Engineering and Architecture Professor V.R. Desai, and Dean Biotechnology and Biosciences Professor S. Chakraborty for all their encouragement and support. And also I would like to thank all the technical support which is given by Mr. S.S. Das, because at the last moment we have informed them, but even though they have worked very hard to make it possible. So, I would like to thank one and all for your support, and I also wish all the volunteers all the best in their in their NSS activities as well as your regular classes. I hope we will meet personally soon. Thank you very much. Yeah.